9-0 public meeting laws. Roll call, Ryan Manerick, ND.
Megan Larrabee, ND.
Vera Lopez Fernandez, Cindy.
Josh Looper, public member.
Mary Beth Baptista, Executive Director.
Kate Watkinson Wright, public member.
Jia Balasamy, ND.
Ryan Martin, ND.
Okay, Megan, take it away with case resolution.
Well, she wasn't here. I just realized.
She was not here. Okay.
So
I know the last one. Or last two, really.
So I'll just give you the case number 240923.
Ryan Manerick moved to dismiss.
Ryan Martin, second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Abstentions?
Oh, abstentions?
I abstain.
Dr. Alashimi and Dr. Larrabee abstain.
Okay.
Motion passes.
Case number 250311.
Ryan Manerick moved to dismiss without discipline.
Ryan Martin, second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
I abstain.
Dr. Al-Hashimi and Dr. Larrabee abstain. Motion passes.
Okay, case number 250207.
Dr. Ryan Manerick moved to discipline. Do you state those? Can you state those, Mary Beth?
To discipline for the violations of, state what the violations
Discipline
are.
for the violations of negligent prescribing. Was there one other one?
Negligent treatment.
And negligent treatment. Do we have to state what the discipline things are?
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I can tell you what it was. $10,000 fine, 3 years of probation, quarterly PDMP pulls, 4 hours of psychiatric prescribing of controlled substances, 2 hours of complex psychiatric case management and referrals, 2 hours of doctor-patient boundaries.
I move to discipline as stated.
Josh Looper, second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain.
Dr. El-Hashimi abstains. Motion passes.
Case number 250623.
I move to dismiss with no discipline.
Ryan Martin, second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain.
Dr. El-Hashimi abstains. Motion passes.
Okay.
Ryan Manerick, I approve to continue investigations over, or move to approve continuing investigations over 120 days.
I'm just make a second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Ryan Manerick, I approve to the I move to approve the June 15th, 2026 executive and public meeting minutes.
I second.
Dr. Larrabee, second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we're going to discuss waiving compensation for
Continuing education.
continuing education.
Waive board compensation for
Yeah.
continuing education.
In exchange for continuing education credits for serving on the board.
Right. So since we approved that and it was we approved it and it came at the last meeting in June, came into effect at some point late June when I went through the Secretary of State's office. The deadline in the rule says, to submit that waiver of compensation if you want continuing education to me. I think it says by January, but since the rule just came in and we clearly have all been here and we're going to continue to be here for the rest of the year, you don't have to say it now, but if you want to waive, and so where we've landed on compensation is for the qualified members who are qualified under the attestation, you get 2 days of pay, and where we are for everyone else for at least the rest of this year, you would get 1 day of pay. So if you would like to waive your compensation for the rest of the year and get your 32 hours of continuing education instead, you need to change your attestation by the end of the month.
And
And
so that's 32 hours. So that includes ethics and prescribing CE,
Mhm.
like that includes everything.
the whole shebang.
Okay.
Farm.
Yes.
We just need to let you know.
So yeah, so you need to change your why do I have such a hard time with that word? Attestation form
How do you,
by
Do you think
yeah,
you could have Robin just send
I-
us that with quick instructions and just send it to all of us? And then we can check
100%.
it
I
on
will
your-
do that.
Thank you.
And it is really self-explanatory. But I might actually change it to make sure it says in lieu of CE, just so we're all legal in case I win the lottery and move to Italy and to,
Right.
when it's $1 billion almost. I'd hate for you to not get your CE while I'm, in my villa.
Exactly. We need that too.
Yeah. For the public members, I know Kate, you sent me something. I think you're all resolved. Josh, did you need me to send something to the medical board to ask? Kate, did you send me something from the bar to sign? Do I remember that?
I didn't need it. I offered to make you available for, they just
Yes.
granted my
Oh,
request to use the credits, but I'm pretty limited. So I'm good.
okay. And Josh,
I'm good for
um,
this year too.
what?
I'm good for this year too.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Okay. Um,
Oh,
things that so moving on, I guess, right?
yep. Go ahead.
So Doug had wanted you guys to review the actual questionnaire of what we ask people for chart reviews, which I feel like you did last time, and you're like, it seemed fine to us. So it's fine with you, it's fine with him. But I think that there was a discussion somewhere along the way earlier in the year that there was some issues with the chart review, and so it just kind of kept getting kicked down the road. So I finally figured it out with Doug that what he wants to know is if you have any changes to the questionnaire, what we're asking the chart reviewers to do, um, please let us know what that is in your suggestions. And just you can email us, edits or suggestions for us to change. It's all administrative, so you're not making a decision or anything. It's just we're asking for, what your thoughts are on it. And we need to get new reviewers. Our list is dwindling and dwindling and dwindling, and we know we need to do that. But, tell your colleagues, that this is a good way to kind of see how some of the board works. So if you aren't qualified yet to be on the board or don't have the time to be on the board, this is a good way to, help. And you actually do get paid when you do the chart reviews, unlike board service. So there's that. Okay. So chair and co-chair elections. We started that conversation last time. We didn't finish it. So what we usually do is we've usually done it in June. With that said, we didn't do it in June during COVID and so we got all thrown off. But so chair and co-chair. So Dr. Menard and Dr. Larrabee, you are both ending at the same time, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
And is that the end, like December of 2027?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So if you two like this, we're not really discussing. It's just food for thought for everyone. And so Zia and Doc Martin, are you both done December of 28? That feels right to me.
I think so.
Okay. And then obviously Josh and Kate and Shiab are our newest members. So there's multiple ways that we can go with this. You know, now that Ryan and I have finally figured out Ryan Martin have finally figured out a way to get his electronic signature so he doesn't have to approve everything one by one. You could, you don't have to do it. You don't have to run again in October or Megan again in October. Um, but we will definitely do it till June again because I want there to be a crossover between the new chair and the old chair because I think that that's helpful. Um, so, um, but then we usually do it for 2 years, right? So think through the rest of you, if this is something that you would like to do, um, absolutely would not like to do, um, because we should be, and you can nominate yourself next time or decline next time, or if Ryan and Megan, you know you're going to decline next time, you may want to say that now. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to figure out um, how we need to move forward on this.
Is the question, it would either be me and Megan or one or both of us through next June or somebody sooner than that or either way?
So the question is, so it's an open field. So let's just say that. But if Ryan and Megan stay chair and co-chair, then we would definitely be sure we're on time in June, right? If the two of you next June to elect a new chair. If you two don't want to do it and just kind of want to ride the sunset in your last months and not have to worry about signing all my bills and Megan, you tracking all the cases to make the motions each meeting, then we should open it up. Then, well, we have to open it up to everybody anyways.
Yeah.
But I think it would be helpful for people to know whether or not to even bother thinking about it.
To make it easy, I'm fine doing it till next June unless somebody else wants to do it.
Same here.
Everybody cool? If everybody's cool with that, we can just do it now, unless anybody wants to put their hat in the ring.
But next June, someone else has to put their hat in the ring.
They
is
have
what
to.
I'm getting
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's gonna be, well,
So yeah, so technically the April meeting at the end will vote for the who's going to take over in June, right? So that's what we'll do. So just stick it out till April.
It's
The
just
two
four
of
more
you.
sessions.
Yeah.
4 or 5, whatever.
Perfect. Oh, that makes me nervous that you guys are going to be gone after that.
and then you're gonna be here for another.
Huh?
Well, I feel like Zia and Ryan Martin, it's gonna go quickly too. I mean,
I know. That's why you can't mess around with, even though I mess around with the COVID situation because I kept the board together because it was just easier. Sometimes I regret that I did that a little bit. Anyways, because you just have total turnover of all of your doctors in a really short period of time. Okay, so do you want to vote on that then? That Ryan and Megan will stay till in the June of or
Through April of 27.
yes, April of 27 because the June would be the next person. Yes.
I so move.
Shiab, I think you're muted or something. Nope, now you're muted. Say it louder then.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't hear you.
I think his microphone's off.
All right, somebody else second.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Excellent. Okay. Um, so the delegation of authority should be signed by, like, because we were going to elect a chair. So I will work the delegation of authority out for discussion at the October meeting, and then we can vote on it then. And Dr. Menard, you can sign that with me once everybody votes on it.
Okay.
Oh, I was just on recording saying that. Okay.
Director's
Okay.
report.
Director's report. Okay, so our 27-29 budget. We are in decent shape because, just as a reminder, because we raised fees, because we raised fees in the special session, we basically lost a year of income off of the raised fees. And so, because of the raised fees. So we had a cash flow problem for the rest of this biennium, not a budgetary problem. So because the stars aligned, the cash flow problem was solved by me also being the interim director at the social work board. So for the rest of this biennium through June 30th, 2027, we are in great shape because, I'm being paid the 60% of my salary is being paid by somebody else. The way it looks right now for 27-29 is that because of the raised fees, they're going to do what they're supposed to do, right? And we're going to have the income that we need to stay afloat, keep the lights on. And it should be fine without having to raise fees. However, there is that ever-present issue of our database. And right now, what was supposed to happen was that the request for proposal was supposed to go out in January, and the money was supposed to, all the bidders were supposed to come in between January and March, and then by April, we were supposed to know who the winners were, and those price agreements where there's going to be three different kinds, right? For large boards, small boards, medium boards, right? Depending on what your needs are, there's supposed to be three different proposals to meet all of our needs. So by the April, when we were supposed to turn in our budget numbers, we were supposed to actually have a number of what it was going to cost us. They just sent out the RFP 3 weeks ago. So the numbers that we put in our April budget were just placeholder numbers of what we hope, believe, think based on different government agencies in different states that they use it. That is our best estimate of what we think the database is going to be. If it comes up, it's not even significantly. If it comes up substantially, which I feel like is a lesser word than significant, if our estimate was off substantially, right? Less than insignificantly, then I don't know what we're gonna do. And so we can at a later point put in for fee increases if we need to. But at this point, because no one has the numbers, they're not approving us to take budgetary actions to get increased income because they don't know if we need the increased income because we don't know what the cost of the database is going to be. I wish I had the whiteboard. I hope you all followed that. If you didn't,
Yep.
it makes total sense that you didn't follow it because it is completely backwards, and it's just what ended up happening through absolutely no fault of mine or yours. The whole enterprise, as they say, is in this situation.
I just want to clarify, is it under other services and supplies, that 36,000 budget line item?
Oh, are you looking at
What are these fees? Well, how much?
You're not looking at, because the budget, the agency proposed budget, you're not looking at that because that hasn't been approved yet. You're looking at last biennium's budget if you're looking at anything.
Okay, well, I'm looking at that was part of our packet. It just says it's our budget for the month of June 2026. But
Yeah,
I just,
that's the fund report. That's like basically what we're spending money on. What I'm talking about is the agency requested budget for 27, 29.
okay, gotcha. But currently, what are we spending? Is that what is this whole computer system the $36,000 we're spending on? Is it under the line item of just other services and supplies?
Yes, but there's other things in that too. But
Right.
what I'm talking about, so we have a price locked in, which is what like so yes, our database costs went up this biennium through Thentia, right? Thentia is our database provider currently. And part of the reason we needed to raise fees is because our contract expired, even though I said multiple times, hey, our contract's expiring, our contract's expiring. They're like, okay, we'll get to it. So what ended up happening is by the time we went to renew the contract, Thentia was in financial trouble and it affected the deal that we could get with Thentia. So our contract with Thentia, our current database provider, ends in March of 2027. So everything that you're seeing on this fund report is what is happening through this biennium, not next biennium. So everything that all the projections that you're seeing are exactly what we assumed they were going to be, what we spent hours and hours and hours on when we were decided to raise fees. All of those numbers, remember how we dissected like what's vacation and what's insurance and what's, all of that we did in December of this year to get to approve those fees, the free fee increase, that's what's in the fund report. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about, so once our contract ends with Ventia and multiple people across the state who has been with Ventia, what happened was is that we were all kind of negotiating our own contracts, which wasn't it led
That all
to
makes sense. I was
yeah,
just trying to make it sense with this
yeah.
piece of paper.
So the state decided instead of having all of the different agencies contract with all these different database providers, the state kind of put a stop to that and said, okay, we're going to have three and you all have to use those. Right. And so that's what they were supposed to send out in January. So by when we developed in April, when our numbers were due to turn into the governor for our agency requested budget for the next biennium, 27, 29, we were supposed to have hard numbers of what our options were to put in the budget so we would know what our 27, 29 looked like. But they didn't get around to doing that for multiple reasons. That didn't go out until July. And so we haven't even started getting proposals in yet. So the number we put in for our budget for 27, 29 is our best estimate. And what I'm saying is right now, if we were right or close in the ballpark, right? If we were in the ballpark in 20 of what we put in for our budget for 27, 29, we should not have to raise fees in the next biennium in 27, 29, right? But if the team has relocated and the ballpark is closed, right? And we didn't do a good estimate and it's way above what we thought it was going to be, right? If we suddenly are like the Dodgers all of a sudden, right? Like then we got problems. And then we're going to have to go probably in either special session or late in the regular session to go for a fee increase, which obviously we want to avoid because we just did it. But depending on what happens with that. And, our services costs, our DAS administrative services, last biennium, 25, 27, we budgeted in for like 16, 18% increase, and they increased 33%. So this time we were trying to be more realistic, but if that goes up way beyond what we projected, and Thentia, or the database is beyond what we projected, I'm just giving you the worst case scenario of what could possibly happen with the budget. I want you to feel like it's fine, but I also want you to know that there's some things that are still some hanging chads out there that are still happening. So Just wanted to make sure that I was clear about that. But as for the OB&M fund report, which is my 7B, we're in great shape. We are flush, flush, flush because, I'm splitting my time. So we currently have 0 cash flow problems, and that I can say with certainty.
And how long is it? Do you have the option to split your time? How long is that sustainable for you to split your time?
Well, I was contracted through November,
Okay.
but now it looks like at least December. But they're trying to decide if it's December or beyond before they have Ryan or you all sign a new RFP. So it's definitely through December. But that's all I know. But all we need is a reminder for our cash flow problems.
Yeah.
All we need, like we were looking for pennies in the couch to make it to October when renewals started. So we were going to be fine as soon as the renewals came in. It was just whether we were going to get to October. So now we're totally going to get to, because of the way that, the salary pot went, right? So we're totally like, the cash flow problem was nothing. And we're going to get all of our renewals in. So it's definitely, me splitting this time has definitely been a great benefit to the budget and the cash flow issues. Any questions on this excitement?
Sounds good.
All right,
Okay.
that's all I got.
Any public comment on these laws? What was this from? Any public comment?
That's just a law that explains what public comment is.
Yeah.
Oh. Can we make a motion to adjourn? Is that where we are?
There, and I'm just checking, there's no public on the Zoom. Just to make that clear. So yes.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 12:27. Any
Ryan
Second.
Manerick, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.
Okay, October will be in person. I will remind you.
October in person. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone.